again, guys, one and another. I know we're talking about UK gospel, but we talking about the CDs that we had about 10 CDs to play, if we're lucky. You know what I'm saying? That was what was gospel. What track you want to say? Bump in the Night.
Bro, they're all bangers.
The Martyrs Anthem.
That was one of the, along with BBJ, that was one of the few albums that I could listen to and listen to every track. And not skip. Bro.
I feel this outstanding phenomena. The mic get rock while good news is bombing ya. Bob Young patiently waiting, the guard come salute him. He'll say welcome, Bobby, the job done. Until then, I'm in your inner city building, preaching the truth. Cause y'all don't lie to the children. Talk what I know, what I'm seeing, the pain.
I went to this show, bro. I see my cousin Daniel, bro, because we was banging these tunes like crazy.
You know what? People might start getting out the old tunes out now.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Xtra.
Yeah, people, this is your boy here, Roger Moore, and Affinity Xtra celebrating gospel music of Black origin, and we're here on the Edge Show, just do the series, which is creating conversation. I know it is. I'm not seeing all the receipts, but I'm hearing the secondary receipts from people, just letting you know, from everybody who's out there doing your comments about the playlist, about the history of UK gospel urban scene. This is not a slight on anybody doing anything today. This is just something to actually identify the foundation. This is no hate on anybody who did anything after 2005, but this is just celebrate, to diagnose, to heal, to show guys, you know, what people invested into this arena, and for me to really get people to deal with a lot of things that were caged in themselves, bitterness and some hardship that they haven't got over within the past. I'm talking big man talk here, you know what I'm saying? And people could say, oh, Roger, you're doing this because you want to get it on your platform and this. Yes, of course I want to get it on my platform, but my if anybody knows Roger wants the best for people. You know what I'm saying? And as Christians, we should care for each other. What I do care about is I do not want to go and chuck dirt on people's graves and say what greatness they did in the urban gospel scene. I want to celebrate you now and talk about you. So I'm alongside Marx, who did the initial one with me, but I did do one years ago with a guy called Joel, which kind of explained the 90s to 2020 about, from a Birmingham, as a guy who was doing a lot of stuff back then. A lot of guys talked about him, but we started the journey about a month ago. Had a conversation with Mark about, you know, his history, what he's seeing or whatever, and we both presented an Affinity Xtra. So I thought it's really good to keep touching base throughout the whole journey of this, and this will prop up and see what's going on there. Today's show, we're gonna have a bit of fun. We're gonna listen to a couple of tracks from back in the day as well, but also have a conversation about some of the conversations that's been raised so far. So far, in the playlist so far, we've got Joel, the custodian. Is originally, this one done a while back, so please check it out because you find about a general. And this is what it is. Not about just about black people, you know. There's white people that invested into the Christendom through the rap form, not plus after 2000. People look at people like Sammy G and so on and says, yeah, they were the first. No, there's big man there, long time before, pioneers that worked side by side by people.
Well, I shared the stage with some of them, man, and I could tell you now, it went all black people.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was white brothers that were doing their thing, and continue to do so up to today in various ways. Yeah, no. I mean, like the Bible says, bro, people perish for the lack of knowledge, and I know we're celebrating those guys that came prior by doing all these things, but this is also to benefit those which are there now, so they have the knowledge. What came before them, because like I said, if they have that knowledge, not only will they have a great appreciation of the way they stand now, but it will give them a foundation. Say, you know what, I need to follow the examples of some of these guys in terms of how I go about handling my business. No,
100%. I think there's business models which are discussed with Smooth Flow. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I would say that Smooth Flow was always the Robin Hood of the scene. You know what I'm saying? He was always, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, listen, man. Guys, you have to look at, Smooth Flow. And I said it in front of him on the podcast that he was the guy who said, buy this camera. He gave me accurate advice, not bad mind advice. Yeah. And I think too often, like me and Marx will talk technology, and he'll say, what's a roadcaster like? Now, if I was bad mind, I said, no, Mark, get the zoom on, that's the type of advice we'll have to make sure, Marx can't step in my zone, still, yeah. So they give you advice, save £100, man, get that one, you know what I mean? You don't quite need it, and then that's not how we need to operate, you know what I'm saying? And Smooth Flow, he was exemplary on that, and he said a lot of good things, and he said, business models, understanding, owning the whole shape, and I think there's a bag of us that has developed and learned to do everything ourselves.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And he's one of definitely the flagships of that. Blessed, man, that was fun, man. I have to say, Mark's hooked me up there. Sorry, he's my informer of the South. You know what I mean? That's my CIA. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, when I expose him, he's gonna get kicked out of a few groups.
It's kind of true because one of the problems I think on the scene right now is that, and it's a problem we have on the scene now, and it's a problem that was then as well.
Yeah,
where a lot of the guys on the scene, if they're seemingly doing a lot of events, releasing a lot of music, and as then and now, it almost became one of those things where they almost believed it's only them and maybe one or two others doing it.
Come on now. Yeah.
Where there's a lot of guys behind the scenes doing stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of guys in other areas doing stuff. And just because they're not on the same stage as you, you believe that you are the ones.
Yeah.
There's not many. There's been loads, guys. I mean, like you said, I'll try with Blessed, man. Hopefully we get Gifted on there as well. But look, I was working with Gifted in his yard for years, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
And this is not 2001, is it?
No, listen, we're not talking about 2001.
He's trying to hide his age, I
am hiding my age. A lot of these guys, but I'll just put it this way. A lot of these guys...
You was a teenager, you were 16. What year was that when you were 16?
Even before then.
Jokey. So even before then,
I hooked up with Gifted and I'm not still giving you my age. I hooked up with Gifted in 1994. And this was when I started working with him, but I was aware of him from before that. But
that's 2 years before the Euros.
Yeah. So in terms of 1994, I started working with him.
1996. Yeah.
So basically, what had happened was, because like I said, myself, Gifted, Blessed Man, Ibe, a bunch of other guys, we all went to the same church. So with that, I approached Gifted, and I'm just like showing appreciation for his craft or what he's doing. And he was saying he was trying to form something himself in terms of a group. So there was myself and another guy called Eston, and he just literally said to us, this is 1994. And he said, look, I want to get you guys to become a group. And our thing then was, we wasn't doing like churches, we weren't doing like, all these kind of stuff. The aim of the group that he was trying to form was literally to aim them at the schools, aim them at communities. We were doing the schools, and during that time we were doing communities locations. And it was literally so Gifted formed that, we called it the Rap Acadics. It was myself and Eston. And then maybe like 2 months later we added 2 extra members, so there was 4 of us.
Okay.
And so in terms of UK gospel rap, we were one of the first groups.
And the thing is, what I will say as well, you got to realize, people, that there was no cross movements back then for us. And I think this is it. I know a couple of the guys have said about cross movements and was a very great influence, which cross movements had an influence, 100%. I think cross movements helped boost the level of respect. I think cross movements were the first ones to officially hit the UK, if you know what I'm saying, officially. When I say officially, they had the official distribution. You know what I mean? I always remember it's the album that was like the music video that they had when it was in Parliament.
House of Representatives.
House of Representatives. That was the album. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So I think I went really into that, you know, to be honest, that stuff, cross movements. But you know, but before that, you had the sneaky copies of Corey Red, and you had little tapes, little tapes would get the circuit, man would send a little, and we used to copy each other's tapes and stuff like that. But there wasn't accessibility, so you would see the secular world having Wu-Tang Clan and all these things, and we almost emulate that in Christ, because they're the only ones who had there. So sometimes I think that, you know, from American standpoint, that cross movement inspired UK, but no, we were already doing it before them.
UK, we had groups and stuff out from a long time. Like I said, it was myself, Est, and then we had another 2 members, and then there was the 4 of us. You know Jonathan as well. He was in there. So it was myself, him, and and then we ended up adding another 2. So there was 6 in the end.
Okay.
One included a female rapper called Purpose, who we became very close.
Female rapper. But then
that's not. Listen, bro, I'm gonna.
She's like original MC Light, you know.
Shout out to Purpose.
Yeah.
Blessed Man will tell you the thing. She was one of the first UK female gospel rappers, and she was doing a ting, bro. She was doing a ting, and she was part of the group, and we was going around doing our stuff.
So was she New T as well?
No, she was Potters. She was Potters as well.
What? She
was Potters, but she knew Gifted, and because her husband at the time was friends with Gifted, and she knew Gifted as well. So it became one of those things where the whole lot of us came together. We formed the Rap Acadics, and like I said, we were aimed.
That's why it's called Rap Acadics.
Rap Acadics.
Okay.
So we would literally
94, 95, 96.
So from 94 onwards, I think by the end of 95, going into 96, the group was already fully formed. So there was about 6 of us in there, and like I said, schools, community, and places. We was doing that. We was doing outside events. By the time we got to 98, we was already doing stuff with Channel 4. So not Channel 4, BBC. So
who was?
So you know Misha Paris?
Yeah.
So Misha Paris was doing a documentary, and in this documentary, the documentary was relating to like gun crime, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and it was highlighting some things. So because she obviously come from a Christian background,
New T,
she gave us the bringing basically, because we was part of a music academy, which basically, like I said, we was working with young people. So we was part of a music academy that was helping young people to do performing arts.
Okay, cool.
So we would be rappers, singers, dancers, and we were showing them about stage presence, all this kind of stuff. So, so the woman that ran that academy was friends with Misha Paris. So she gave the academy a bringing, and as a result of that, myself and some of the other guys, which are rappers, we had a chance to rap, and it was shown on the BBC.
Okay. You got any receipts?
I've got the receipts, bro. I've got the receipts. I mean, listen, bro. Listen.
Have you got a visual of that, bro?
Let me see if I can.
Listen, guys, we have to get 30 here, you know. Come back, man will say, yo, mans was the first person on the box, you know. Start making claims like that, you know. Come back.
So, as you see, this is the BBC website, the BBC News website.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, there's Jonathan right there. Yeah, there's Jonathan there.
Snap!
As you can see, they're talking about me here and my name there. So that's what I'm saying, bro. So we were doing the thing. No, that's the official BBC.co.uk website.
For real people, no, I'm watching that. Yeah.
But literally, we were, like I said, we were literally going around doing stuff from years back. And never say we never did churches, but it was more a case we was trying to hit.
Send me the link for that, because I might put that in the actual thing. But yeah, no, 100%. I think that's good.
We were literally just trying to reach the churches. Reach the local communities. We're doing like community events, festivals, going to the schools. And that's where we were aimed at. So people wasn't seeing us around some of the sets. You saw some of the gospel rappers, because we wasn't really doing stuff in the church as much. We did like youth conventions and stuff like that here and there. But it was really a case of hitting the streets and getting to reach to young people. So it was good. And the joke thing is we'll be walking along the road and then random school kids and random teenagers would come up to us and be like, "Are you guys those rappers from blah blah blah?" And we didn't know who they were. We have been doing all this stuff on the scene so much that people started to know us around different areas.
North
London, South London, of course. It was good, man.
Crazy. Yo, people, you see that? I think that's 94, 95, 96. When am I there?
Yeah, like I said, we started with Gifted at 1994.
But then you developed into 96, 90.
We got the group, and from 96
to
onwards.
How long?
Between 96 and 2002.
That long?
Yeah, we would like literally doing stuff, man. So the group wasn't together for that long period of time. So 96 to I'd say about 98. 99, the group was together, and then obviously like people get older.
Different priorities and stuff.
So the group split, but there's certain members of us were still together doing stuff. So myself and Purpose, the female rapper, we went around by ourselves as a duo for a long time, just rapping around the place.
Okay. Is Purpose still about now?
I don't think she's still rapping. I don't think she's
no, it's not as a rapper, but as
she's still about. She's still about. I'm sure she's done receipts and stuff as well.
Yeah, man. Sis, if you want to chat, man, let's chat, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's cool.
Literally didn't ask to meet her. Possibly in the UK, very, very possibly. The only other female rapper I know of at the time was I think her name was either Black Grape or Black Cherry, something like that.
Black Grape, you know.
But no, she was fire as well. Because I remember we did an event, and that was the Channel 4 one. So we did, I think it was Channel 4. So we did an event in a nightclub called Dingles, and down there, Gifted was down there, Warrior, Paul Endays, I believe, and World Priesthood were there as well, and a few of us were down there. And this was again when they were talking about the urban scene. So Westwood was down there as well.
Okay.
And by the time we did this event, Westwood had already started playing Gifted's music on air. You know what I'm saying? He was there was no go between. Westwood was contacting Gifted directly and requesting his music.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So Boyoy and all them other tunes there were being played on radio. So by the time we did this event, Westwood wanted to come down to see what the deal was. So we literally went down there. Everyone's performing stuff like that. And then at the end of the event, there was like this big cypher where everyone just kind of jumped. Whatever. And Westwood loved it. And again, these are stuff. This is all stuff that was going on like a long time. We're not talking about a Christian event here. This was very much a secular club doing a secular event, but we had a platform for the gospel artists to come in and do the thing. Wow. So it was a very, very good scene then, and like I said, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than just like those you see in church or those with the big names and those with like recognized groups. There was a lot more going on.
Wow. Okay, you learn something every day, Roger. No, that's crazy. I think that one thing I'm learning is that the scene again in Birmingham, we had a scene. And it's clear that there was some, and I'm shouting out to my Birmingham guys who were coming through in the mid-90s as well. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to shout them out, man. You gotta just pray for it because these guys is like longing it out, man. Yo, guys, Birmingham, you just need to catch. But I'm gonna speak to some guy. The guys that the ironic thing is a lot of the guys that are still functioning to this day or really came through late 90s, early 2000s and they're still doing it. They're easy to communicate with and bring out. What I find is the people that's kind of locked the key and shut the door before 2000, they don't want to open the door again. You know what I mean? And but we're going to unlock the door because I think the power is knowledge and the power is community and the power is we're at the strength in the time to reconcile. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's reconciliation, man. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny, bro, is that I'm looking at... So, obviously, these videos have come out regarding this stuff, and someone actually said to me the other day, Mark, you realise you and them man were rapping on the scene while Governor B, Faith Child, and these guys were still in primary school.
This is it?
Wow. I felt old when he told me that. But it was, I calculate, you know what, that's true. While them man was still in primary school, we was already on the scene.
Bro, I remember, like, you know, but the thing is, bro, I find reflective... talking your journey reflective wise, you don't realize what you were doing. I was at uni. When I first got my, we showed my Commodore Amiga. Remember the tech show we do my Commodore Amiga. I didn't realize, I remember sampling Jeanne, Grooving, So Grooving, I sampled it, so I was able to go in there, loop it, sample it, copy it onto cassette tape, then play it on that stereo there, Go to a church now, put the mic in front of my stereo, and then I'll get the youth choir, and I technically have sampled a loop on a basically a software which you can't save. You just gotta do it, and if it switches off, you gotta start again. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I was 18. You know what I'm saying? 17, 18, bro.
The experiences that we would have now, that those on the scene doing their stuff today will never have. They won't know about going down to places like Tower Records, CD Bar, buying a single for like £3, looking for an instrumental on the back of it, so you can go and jump on the instrumental. I had CDs galore when CDs became a thing. We just had pure, just to get the instrumental.
When you say instrumentals, you're like, yes! Like, you know what I'm saying, you know.
You take the instrumental and you rap on the whole track, or you sample it into something that you're making. But
I would
those
listen.
Experiences, man.
Busta Rhymes that I remember sampling Give Me Some More. Oh, my days. There was nothing in there to sample, you know. So I had to get the one loop that was fading out. So I had to increase the volume all the way through, and I couldn't do that through. I wasn't using headphones. I was looking at the waveform, trying to get the wave, and then to loop it. And then people couldn't tell that I was like this. And you got loop on the kick. All that was skills for today.
Skills.
You know what I'm saying? Skills for today. So what I want to do, guys, as well, I want to also look back at some of the tracks that kind of did a thing for us back in it. And this is not going too far back, because I'm not talking about the gifted stuff and the blessed. Before you're gonna go and say, "Yo, Roger's gonna play pure Marx," then man, I'm gonna play some of my. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know how you boys work. It's pure SE postcode getting played out here. So I know how you guys operate. So it's not that, man. But I'm gonna jump into my collection, and let me just add here. I'm gonna fast with it, but I'm gonna add forward that. Let me see. We go to music. So and we're gonna look at some of the music that was there. Right. Here's one. A1 Swift.
Oh,
So A1 Swift was See the smiles come up on his and her face there. So you would have a tune. Let me see. It was Turn Yourself Around. I got both the albums, you know.
Tales from the Swift, bro.
Tales of the Swift. Yeah, Tales from the Swift. Okay, let's let that load up in the system.
That's mad.
So what it is, guys? I got my you know, like because I got like iCloud. I just connect. So it just takes a few minutes ticking. Let me just switch over to you know, when sometimes 5G is probably quicker. It just takes a while to freshen up. A1 Swift, go on. Talk to me about A1 Swift. From your perspective.
Well, listen. I mean, okay. So A1 Swift for me were probably the first female-male.
That's the point, you know.
Group that I kind of connected with. You know what I'm saying? I think they were husband and wife, right?
I can't remember.
I think I might be wrong. I don't want to say yes for sure, because they might be brother and sister. But I think they were husband and wife.
Yeah.
But literally, you know, rapping, singing, vibes. This is like old school, like back in the day. Like the music was good, solid. Mm-hmm. I literally used to like play A1 Swift on repeat because
serious.
A1 Swift
because that was distributed by Gospel Centric. So it's after the success of Kirk. You know what I mean? You got this rap group coming out there. Oh, here it knew it. Drop the bomb. That was my favorite tune. That was one of my breads.
That's what they used to have, the big hi-fi systems, right? It used to just like pump that volume up, man.
Bro, this is it, man. Man's had the little fiestas and just playing the tune out there live.
The weapons of our warfare, they're found in the spiritual,
not in the physical. I don't even know his lyrics. I heard this year, man, for over 20 years. I still know the lyric. That's the deepness.
Oh, man, he's quoting off the tune, you know.
But I haven't heard this drill for years, and I still know the lyric. That's how you know.
Bro, like, so for me, this track, well, I'm conscious I'm not going to play too much of the tunes because I don't want to know pulling down and suing on my podcast. So I want to get ready to get far. But like this was like, I remember this when I was about 18, 19, about that age. It was you know what I'm saying? So I was 19. I remember I just met with Mrs. So I was 19. 100%. And my friend said, yo, listen to A1 Swift. I said, love the album. And he said, drop the bomb with the track. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, and that track. I'm listening to it, then it's like, yo, it sounded all right still. So that release would have been around about 96, 95, 96. You know what I'm saying? And that had a national, international distribution deal because of what Gospel Centric was doing with Kurt Franklin. Literally a couple of years before that, the success of that, it kind of came through. So obviously American group, if you get UK gospel, you're talking about, you got to look at some of our first influences. So you keep going to cross movements, but A1 Swift was before cross movements. You know what I'm saying? Way before.
And you had a bunch of guys, Gospel Gangster, T-Bone.
I got, do you remember BBJ?
Oh my days.
BBJ, bro.
Once BBJ dropped that album, I didn't listen to nothing for about 6-7 months.
Okay. We got BBJ. Hit me a tune off here.
Bro, this guy, gosh, even the intro was sick. Even the intro, no, seriously. Even the intro, what's the intro, bro?
Yo.
In fact, no, sorry, it's not the intro, the one after that. I'm the new kid on the block. I'm the new kid on the block. Can't say everybody's one because I got the butter. I'm the new kid on the block. This guy here, he's the closest sounding to Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I was going to say, 100%.
Yo,
when you least expected, that's when I resurrected. All the lows about to get hectic.
Better know. You don't know about your team there, bro. You don't know.
Sorry, this guy's making me laugh, still. Yo, making me laugh. Guys, this was not being now, I'm just going through my collection from back in the day still, because I put it all in MP3. That's BBJ. That's another major influence. We had access to this distribution-wise in the shops. Yeah? So this is another one that you could go and get the CDs. And that
album was so heavy. But you could buy that album now and it will still bang today. That album.
See, I pray you face me. Woo wee, no rules to breathe wrong.
Yeah. So that's one of another influence. Again, I don't want to get torn off the system because you know what? Some of these guys ain't even put things out there, but you know what I mean. But the thing is, when they come out there, they kind of mash up the whole scene. Okay, there's that. Let's have a look. Let's go down here. I tell you what, an artist I know was big. I'm going really, really back in there. Okay, Corey Red and Precise, but I don't think I've got Mark of the East on here. Resistance is Futile.
Resistance is Futile is the top album as well, man. Yeah.
Yes. That's the one from back in the day. Yeah. So again, guys, one and another. I know we're talking about UK gospel, but we talking about the CDs that we had about 10 CDs to play if we're lucky. You know what I'm saying? That was what was gospel. What track you want to say? Bump in the Night.
Bro, they're all bangers.
The Martyrs anthem.
That was one of along with BBJ, that was one of the few albums that I could listen to and listen to every track. Bro.
I feel this outstanding phenomena that might get rock while a good news is bombing ya. Bomb young, patiently waiting, the guard come salute him. He'll say welcome, Bobby, the job done. Until then, I'm in your inner city building, preaching the truth, cause y'all don't lie to the children. Talk what I know, what I'm seeing the pain.
I went to this show, bro. I see my cousin Daniel, bro, because we was banging these tunes like crazy.
You know what? People might start getting the old tunes out now. You know what? Sometimes I think as well, no offense to the new DJs them still, yeah. But you kind of play, post-war stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not pre-war, before the 2005. But yeah, man. But Corey Red and Precise. He's still with his ex.
Oh, listen, I'll tell you, Bob.
So, you can tell, I want the rapper, you know what I mean? So you can tell he's a rapper, he's not the rapper still anyway, yeah. But anyway.
The Messiah, forever on the throne. And since everybody get their moment in the sun, I'ma use mine to praise the God who made the sun and made your lungs.
So I'm more listening to production.
I would love to know if they actually had a guy on the
bass.
Or
sampled in. I wouldn't be surprised if they sampled it.
Probably sampled.
Sampled.
It sounds so clean. That's why I'm
100%. Well, we just gone past the truth. The truth's not even on the spectrum, bro. The truth's like,
he
came through later.
Like I said, you got to go to people like Gospel Gangsters, T-Bone, and then Langdon, man.
This old DJ. Here's one. DJ Mad, you remember him?
DJ,
but he was. But
play a tune for me to hear because if you see what I'm thinking of, it's the mixes that would really good.
Yeah, because he did Boogie Roots, but I can't remember. That was 90s though. I'm sure that was Boogie Roots. Boogie Roots. The anthem. You remember this? Who is it? Just had it there.
There it is.
Ooh, wait, next to my finger. Wait.
Right there.
Oh, Boogie is there. Yeah, that's it. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know about DJ, man?
Yeah, of course.
Still locked in his enemy now.
One time for the Science crew. We feel slid there. How about you? Cause when my people come through, we wanna see you all. One time for the Science crew. We feel splendid. How about you?
I tell you why I really liked him because there was a track that got released. It reminded me of what's the man called? It reminded me of something from A Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
Coming 1991, 100 miles and running. I felt
that style was that style of man. It's this is like back in the day stuff. And the joke is, everybody UK, this is why we sounded how we sounded. You know what I'm saying? I think up to about
influenced by the US
before 2010, past 2010. It's only since about 2015 American rappers just become not the thing. But we have to realize from the early 90s to all the way to 2010, a major influence in your style, the way you. Ooh.
I think the difference.
Remember this track?
We will taste a unique blend.
I remember some of these vibes. Sorry, I'm more of a producer guy, so I'm listening to things. I'm like,
I'm listening. I'm listening to that sound. I'm thinking, where have I heard that sound from before?
Why call that big pin man?
They wanted to do it. Definitely sample because I know that.
Featuring the newest member of the ingredient family.
You know what I'm saying? All them things there. So anyway, so be careful because definitely you'll get sampled. Get caught out for that one. Man, I got you remember ET's, Ezra, bro, man. I got some albums on here, bro. Eric Cross, who was that again? Oh, why don't I know that? Oh goodness, Everyday Process. These guys are more later on. Flavor Alliance.
How much space you got on that iPad, bro? I'm just in pure album music.
Yo, I'm gonna see Mark's go home now. Right, I'm juicing up my collection. This is so. If you wanna clash me, I only shout out to DJ Nadlux. Don't clash me because I'll just break out a rhythm from back in the day, and you absolutely don't clash me, right? We
need to do a gospel. You know the verses shows they do where they usually have like maybe Timberland versus Swiss Beats or whatever. We need to do a gospel version of that, bro.
Listen, bro, I'm ready. I'm ready for the heat. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'll just go. I'll do cheat codes. I have plates. I've got tunes that nobody has got.
Yeah.
But I remember when you came to my yard, he goes, Roger, you could be a DJ. I says, nah, I don't fancy it. Fancy Barbershop, Flavor Alliance. I can't remember. I don't know if you remember this. But I don't know when this was. Jeez, this is a classic.
I don't remember this one.
Yo, who's got the fever for the flavor? This hot cut to savor. Step up and pay for one half floor a waiter. Play in all stations, reaching all nations with fades and frustrations. Mad compilation, phasing on occasion. The black, white, or Asian to all start praising in streets or in havens. Our beats so amazing. The alliance is blazing. In flavor, keep tasting. Let's get information. Next.
Now it's the Flavor Fam, dropping the latest jam, whether it's underground or getting sound scanned. When we let it go, you feel it.
Yeah, man. So Marcus is doing his savings though. So he's trying to remember when that one. Shazam, he's trying to Shazam it. Shazam goes, sorry, this was before record began.
I'm trying to remember when this particular one dropped. So I want to get an idea.
This is Flavorfest. I'm sure it's connected to Flavorfest, you know. Because look at the logo, look at the artwork type of thing.
My personal barber was me. All through high school and college, I had a monopoly, cause all the local shops would face sloppily. $3 to $5 a cut, no one was topping me. Give me some
Flavor, no, this different one.
Made something out of nothing, worked my way up from the sewer, kept my quality.
Listen, mate, this will break AI, man, break up AI. But guys, that's Barbershop Flavor Alliance. Do check it out if you can find it, mate. Yeah, like I paid that too. If they come here, they could come to DJ Roger Moore, you know what I mean? License the good enough even. Right, you got, so that's another group from back for me. That was that not was a major influence, but was one of them albums that you can hear. A lot of music was that kind of vibe. That was a sound that we was doing, and I still feel that UK had its own kind of sound, which hopefully I'll get to, because I'm trying to find some UK acts out here from back in the day. It shows you that another major problem because of technology was that I wouldn't be experiencing what Marx is experiencing because I wasn't based in London. So in Birmingham, we wouldn't really see the impact of what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, that much. I would hear of certain guys, you know what I mean, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get caught up. I wouldn't, be totally influenced. Let me think. G-Force, what's G-Force? No, it's G-Force. That's way after. You've got it's got gone on here. Okay, cool. Yeah, bro, that's some of the gospel freedom and stuff that I did. Gospel gangsters. But I don't think I got the old stuff, though. I wasn't really into them.
Listen, gospel gangsters are big, man.
I know they're big, but even though I did a show with them, not so much me self-directed. I supported somebody doing a show when they came over with Doug and Doug.
There was so much controversy with them as well, because everyone kept saying...
this was the album, and this was the album.
Gangsters at the same time.
Yeah, very true. Is it which track off here, bro?
Do or Die, bro. You have to do or die. That's the remix version on there. That's not the one I'm thinking.
No, is there a remix version? No, that's it. Do or Die.
No, there's another version that they dropped both here where it is like ridiculously sick.
Yo, so let me see how this goes anyway. Remember, people, I'm not really a gospel gangsters guy, but I have their tunes.
Well, I have to get you to play like.
Let's try to get out the receipts,
Listen.
Come on, get to the vibes. Come on.
My Bible's my next clip. I want to reprise the dream. You step to me and you get checked quick. Sticky feeling with a safe thug. Then when I put on my gloves, demons get knocked up.
That's the visual. But the remix one, I think, made more noise.
Okay. But anyway, that's gospel for everybody who said, I've heard about these gospel gangsters guys. What did they sound like? There's gospel gangsters guys for anybody who's like, oh, forget them guys. You know what I mean? Old school musicians guys. Get out them old school music, man. Let's see, Grassroots. No, that was something else. Ooh, I got Green Jade. Why have I got Guns Down? So you'll hear a lot of stuff about Guns Down, Green Jade. For a lot of people probably ain't even heard it. I'm gonna ask Wisdom, is it out on digital? Is it out on digital?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't think it is. I might be wrong.
Okay. Listen, all you hear about is Guns Down's Green Jade, yeah? Let's have a listen. I better shut down my podcast,
it is. It's there.
It is. Yeah. Okay, it's there. So it.
Put your guns down.
Step away from my badness.
They sat on the run.
Put your hands on your.
That's how.
Yeah. See, that's See, you could tell some of the influence that they had, because like on their thing there, you could see the instrumentals, and artists don't release instrumentals no more. You know what I'm saying? So they dropped the EP and there's an instrumental on there, Two Guns Down the Girl.
Of course, man. And instrumental. But it shows that the producer's an artist in himself, so he don't mind people rapping on top of his rhythm.
But licking shots over these things I call deep steps. I see sets of these so-called crimes and so-called sins, dying over so-called things. No one wins, and life is snub. Famine is frown. Tears.
I'm saying has it life. Track is down, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I think this was like 2007. So
very true. He's late. He's late.
Not late than the ones that we've been playing.
It's almost the end of, not end of the journey, but it's like. Yeah, but say that I'm gonna find, guys. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna get to the Zion noise. Don't worry, people, because that was a Grits. That's a one.
Ooh,
Now the joke is Grits. I was listening to when I was going camp, and I remember coming back from camp and out of Eden. So I would have been at college, 16, 17. So that would have been, 92, 94.
Wow.
Double check that, bro. Double check. Mental Release. So sometimes Grits don't get the credit. You know what I'm saying? But they were out as much. Yeah. Friday, I'm sure. 1 second, people. Let me find.
1995.
1995.
Mm-hmm.
So round about. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. 95. That's Mental Release. Yeah.
Yeah, Mental Release.
Yeah, it was the first. Yeah, man. But they had that certain sound. Do you remember? Did you listen to the album? Oh, so you know about Minjay?
I know about Grits.
Just check it. I know.
I feel like man's out here trying to test me these days. Man wants me to rap on every track.
Innovative and creative in my soul lives the native great day I say in the morning beyond it what you're sowing it because it simply isn't real to me. How does it feel to be the devil's vessel? You try to wrestle but can't shake it, so you fake it.
But for me, these guys, A1 Swift was out about the time. Yeah, I preferred this sound, that jazzy type of feel. Kind of like,
I don't know if I had a preference. I think as long as the music was good, I liked it. But in terms, I think the only thing that I had preference to was like more the flow. So obviously you had the East Coast, the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like one side was a bit more fast and
yeah.
And the others were a bit more like just like ride on the rhythm kind of.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. I hear that, bro. I hear that. I think a major problem is as well also at the time was the lyrical content of some of the guys, yeah, as not all the guys had great lyrical content, and there was a battle in the rap scene about who lyrical content.
Yeah, I think I
raised that issue. Yeah,
I don't know about anybody else, but definitely for me, I think at the time the lyrical content wasn't as big a deal as the flow and the sound of the music for me.
Okay.
It had to be hitting me hard. You know what I'm saying? Because before I heard even what you were saying, I heard the track. So the music had to be hitting me hard. Your flow had to be sick. Which is why I loved BBJ as soon as he came, because I was a big Notorious fan. So when I heard him, I thought,
didn't you think that? Oh, Biggie died lifestyle. Why are you doing a gospel rip off? Didn't you think? Because a lot of people did think that like a gospel rip off.
See, I don't think so, because. So BBJ, even though he released that album then, he had been doing music on the scene for years, like a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So, he was probably running tracks that ran by the same time as Notorious was as well. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I don't know, like, if it's a case I don't know if he took any inspiration from Notorious, or he just happened to how it sounds.
Yeah.
That's what got me, was the flow and the music here. I thought, I'm a big Notorious fan. You sound like Notorious. I like you.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. 100% hear what you're saying. And stuff. So sorry, guys. I'm just going for. I got a massive collection of music. So
tell you whose music I've played a lot. So you know, we're talking about,
what about KG Scriven? Who's that?
I can't remember. But a guy who I used to listen to a lot of Ambassador post cross movement.
Serious.
I feel like I liked his music a lot more
before
with your solo.
Yeah, Christology.
Yeah.
Christology. Yeah.
There were certain tracks that Cost Movement did, which I thought were really banging. But yeah, Ambassador, like once he went solo, I moved away from listening to Cost Movement stuff to more his stuff.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, man, I just seen Lamp Mode. I love the Lamp Mode, man. Lamp Mode was free to me. But that was a bit later on. Lamp Mode wasn't really at the beginning stages of what's going on.
I think you're also, when we're talking about the urban scene,
yeah.
I mean, hip hop, when you say to people urban music, most times they think hip hop, and like nowadays you throw your grime drill and all that kind of stuff in there. But, back in the day then as well, one of the big genres was the garage. Oh,
yeah, cool. Right, so we've got a visitor, guys. So we're going to press pause on this 1 second. Okay, we're back. We're back. A little bit of intermission. But listen, I'm going to test Marx out here while I was doing in the intermission still, yeah. You know what I'm saying? See if he knows about these guys still, yeah. So this is the guy tracks. I don't know what time this track came out, but I know it was back in the day. But it's the vibe that really brought me into the rap music, and it was like a group called Redeemed Thoughts, in what my favorite rapper of all time, Steve the Levite's part of it still, whatever. And this track here, so I just love. Yeah, the tree there, man.
Yo, my God created multiple dimensions and people to live in them. They messed up. My God prophesied a plan to forgive them. Redemption emotion will first it overflow the ocean. My God left man baffled, babbling, causing commotion. Hold his chosen rose, the spoken line of the Messiah.
Of course, you're not going to rip my archives, bro.
My God slaughtered masses with 300 men and no son in the kingdom. Menus representing theocracy. Even Goliath agrees, screaming, this king is rocking. The God of Solomon building a temple on his ottoman. The God who uses stray arrows to knock men on their bottom end. Swallowing Jonah preserved in the belly of the beast.
You know where he's like? Something you listen to.
I can't remember this one. I need to go through my album to see if I've got it.
It's not in there, bro. It's not in there.
Bro, listen. I've got albums for days. For days. It's impossible to remember everything.
So bang your head, Yo, listen. People, you know what I mean? That's the sort of sound I was totally. That's when I really got bought into the the thing is, guys, as well. I was actually, I'm saying Marcus wasn't a judge boy, but basically I was more into music, more Hezekiah Walker, Sounds of Blackness. I was heavily into your Blackness, man. I was like, I was into that. I weren't really into rap as such. I was more a soul influenced R&B person as well, but I was into urban music, drum and bass. I was into urban music, but not into rap. Then when you guys go into rap, rap, you know what I'm saying? Where I was more urban gospel, more rounded, man, way more rounded in terms of their 1 second, rock soul. Ooh, do you remember these guys?
Who that?
Boy, oh yeah. Hey guys, sorry, I told you, Mark can't get his collection and test me, but he's nervousness out there, man. He's nervousness because he's going, yo, why'd you got these tunes out still? So, this was more later one, but this was more 2000s, yeah?
Okay.
Let me just play. You got Corey Red and Precise, Wild Star. Let me just play this tune. Let me see, Mark. You must know this tune.
I know this tune. Of course I know this tune, bro.
You and Trey saying you don't talk about it. I'll say it wrong with Jesus, 'cause he's just the only way.
So I say, people going like, yo, where's this tune again? Yeah, I say that's Wild Star, Corey Red and Precise, man. Listen, their name, when you said Corey Red and Precise back then, bro, it was weight.
Listen,
it was weight.
Listen.
It was. And it wasn't weight because of the beats. It was weight because of their delivery and the content of the delivery.
I'll go far as to say, when Corey Red and Precise joined together, right? Me personally, I don't think there was a duo or group that was heavier than them.
No.
Them man were just too nasty and too grimy.
And that was after a rock soul compilation. So you had these compilations coming through now, in I would say early 2000s. They were just serious, bro. Absolutely serious. Sorry, guys. I'm just flipping through to see. I can't even. Shabaraka's not even Foundation. You know what I mean? These guys came up later. You know what I'm saying? You know, Lucas Sounds. I got Steve Levi, but then Steve Levi, I played his earlier stuff when he was Redeemed Thoughts. Later on, he's got some really powerful stuff. I'm just seeing if I got. I bet
you're just gonna skip past T-Bone like that.
Oh, T-Bone! Oh my gosh, where's T-Bone? Listen, sorry. So you know what? I was trying to remember his name. You know, you're saying. So I was trying to remember T-Bone. Which album would you say? Bun Happy?
Oh,
which one is it?
Last Week Prophet.
Is it that one?
Might be. Let me see.
So T-Bone was one of like. He had a fur coat.
Yeah. On the scene, he was the only. Was it Spanish?
Yeah, he's Hispanic. Yeah, we call it Spanish, Hispanic, whichever. You know like Hispanic. Yeah. Latino rapper.
I'm not saying he was the only one about, but the only one that was like known, like in terms of like outside of his country, that was reaching over here to the UK and other places. It was definitely the biggest.
You talking about T-Bone? Yeah. Sorry, let me just try and remember. So you got T-Bone. Yeah, Mommy. Yeah, it's my boy. Yeah, cool. Yo, bro, I can't remember these tunes. I wasn't really into that style, bro. Oh, that's an album. That album. Remember that album?
That album came after.
Yeah. And that was the first one. Last Streets.
I believe so. I can't remember the order, but I'm pretty sure. And I feel I was about T-Bone is that you could be rapping in English and then he'll just break out into Spanish.
It took a long time to get here. Blood, sweat, and tears. Plus my peers left me all alone in the game. Insane, funny how life changed when you're doing big things. Jealous of diamonds in the way I'm robbing, but we ain't laying down, player. We gon' keep on climbing to the top like a steep.
You know what? There was some quality stuff like that, and he had a good distribution deal as well. Yeah. So he did good for himself, man.
I don't think there was any of these albums that he dropped that didn't hit over here in the UK, and I wasn't seeing in some of the UK.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It was easy to get T-Bone stuff. It was easy to get his stuff.
Yeah.
Gospel Gangsters to a certain degree. Cross Movement I managed to get hold of like pre-EJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, his distribution was like really good.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm going past some guys like Tunde, Triple O, the old stuff back in there, but we're not dealing with that today. Uprise Garage Cypher. Why is that in there? Sorry, guys. I got some.
That was what I was going to say earlier. Is that when you can't talk about the urban scene.
Yeah.
In terms of UK and not mention those which are doing it in the garage thing, like Too True and a bunch of other guys as well, man. Because like. They set a massive foundation for a lot of guys in the genres that were coming up after. Too True, especially Michael Hardin and Simone.
Okay.
They were doing big things. Big things.
Zion Noise. No songs. Well, 1 second. It's got to be this one. There you are. Was Zion Noise one word? Was it two? Yeah, okay, cool. That's why I messed up there.
On the stuff that I was getting from them at the time, it was as one.
Was this the track with When You're Born Again? Is that on there? When You're Born Again? No, it's not. That's something different.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think when you look at this stuff now, it's like it might be Zion Noise is two separate words, but I'm pretty sure when I was getting stuff over from them at the time, it was still as one. But their man will probably be best to tell you.
Yeah. I don't remember that. But again, this was later on, isn't it? So that was a kind of intro. So, guys, I must admit, this came out 2004-05. It's gonna be around about it.
Definitely, in terms of the ones that we've been playing so far, we're talking about ones that were like in the 90s.
Yeah. This was definitely later, but I had to just give an honorable mention there still, because of it did do some good stuff. There is a track that I wanted to play. You know when back in the day when you set up your things in iTunes.
Yeah.
And when you click on compilations, it puts everything in compilations in in the compilations folder, innit? Where's the compilation folder? Where is it? Is it compilations or was it
That
various
Chosen
artists?
one, yeah, right. I wonder which Chosen is that you've got there.
Chosen. Who's Chosen again? Promo. Who's Chosen again, man?
See, the Chosen I know is the My Dry Charles. That's not the one I'm thinking of. No. No, I'm thinking of the one.
You're talking about Chosen, the original Chosen, innit?
You know my boy Charles, innit, that ran Kingdom Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking him Chosen because that was his rap name.
Yeah, but that name will get used later on. Yeah.
Chosen one of those days.
Wait,
that Chosen, Blessed, whatnot. Yeah, right. Those kind of names will get vinced in the kingdom as.
Yeah, all day. Where's V? Where? You know when you got V? Where's UV? Wait a second. Where are you? What am I doing? I can't find, guys. Sorry, guys. I can't find my compilations. But either way, I would say Simply Andy. Gee whiz, that's the classic, man. Good news, yeah, man. Because Simply Andy did a thing, man. You know what I mean, bro? Did a good few things, man, out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I think that, you know, you gotta almost rate what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys. I mean, even though we're talking about guys that came pre-2000, there's a lot of guys that came after 2000, which kept helping to raise that bar in terms of like exposure of the UK gospel scene, and things like that. And obviously, people like Simply Andy, Green J, their man were in there.
Yeah.
I think the conversation is more about the fact that there was foundational people before them.
Yeah.
Even when they did hit the scene, like I said, what they did was they looked at where the bar was and they helped to keep raising that bar so that the youngins that are there now
they got something to work for.
Yeah.
Work through.
So,
but you know, 100%. And I think that, you know, guys, I think this show was just like a feedback into sometimes the sounds that were there. Hopefully anybody who's looking back who knows the music here will hopefully start looking back at some tunes there. And you know, and there's too much, guys. I got loads of music to play in my collection. There's a couple of things I want to get to, but we can do that in the future 100%. Because
I want to give a quick shout out to one person because I think we can't do this series without mentioning him, and he's not here to mention his name because unfortunately he passed away.
Who's that?
Which is a man like Lucas Langdon.
Okay,
Langdon,
yes,
in terms of the UK gospel urban scene, he's a big player, and we're not talking about as an artist in terms of like publishing and helping artists make CDs and all this kind of stuff.
How far ago? Well, how far back does? Because I remember speaking. So I spoke to him in early 2000s. I spoke to him early 2000s. But then again, even, guys,
even before then, bro.
Before then, yeah. Because obviously
I
didn't see that movement.
I was in Lucas's house in the late 90s, with a lot of these guys, which I mentioned that I was in a factory with, and we were actually pressing the CDs and. I think I mentioned we were pressing the CDs and doing the album covers and single covers for a lot of the artists that came after. So when you see these guys come and talk about this, that, and the other, a lot of time I help to press their stuff they don't even realize. But Lucas was a major player in terms of one, bringing talent through, two, helping to distribute music. I'm pretty sure guys like Warrior and whatnot will tell you as well that they worked with Lucas. Everybody will have their own story and this, that, and the other, but Lucas played a big part in terms of the urban scene in the UK, opening doors not just here in the UK but also in terms of the American distribution as well. But yeah, he played a major part, and like I said, unfortunately he's not with us still, but there's a lot of people whose lives have been impacted because of the help and the guidance and the mentoring and all this kind of stuff that Lucas did. And I was just very fortunate to be one of the guys which were able to, like I said, along with some other guys, to come underneath him and learn from the trade. So even stuff that we learned for our music and media businesses that we still carry up to today.
It was a seed,
from back then in the 90s.
But what I would do, and I wouldn't even disagree everything what he says, but I want to really contextualize as well this as well, that when you say UK, I would say it's definitely London, because I didn't really bump into Lucas. Now I was doing things for a long time. Now I would have been perfect to work with Lucas. Again, communication techniques. We never had that communication tool, and then I didn't start interacting with Lucas till wow, I was went into doing the Gospel Link magazine. So but the thing is, he was way into it. Yeah. And I'm like, how did you get all these links?
I think the thing is that it's very different nowadays where you got social media where everything's
totally different.
Because I can testify that Lucas was running things and working people up here as well as other places up north from even then. There was social media,
you wouldn't see things on your own.
With like 2 or 3 artists or whatnot, but it wasn't widely publicized.
It wasn't widely. It's like me and Praying Mantis. We live right a corner from each other, and we barely see each other, but yet being active in the UK gospel scene for absolute years. And it's like, and that's another thing what I think today don't realize is that we can just go on Instagram and do your research. You got so much accessibility, which we didn't have accessibility. I only bumped into Marx like a few years back. Like in terms of conversation, right? I've never spoke to Lady T until about 6-7 years ago. So as much as we've crossed, music geek and stuff, the scene was just different.
The funny thing is, we didn't cross paths, even though I was doing stuff all the time. We didn't cross paths, but I was at your events. So that's the joke. And now I didn't know it was you behind there until we started talking proper. But I was coming to your events. And you was doing the things. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was coming from London.
And it shows that maybe in today's technology we would have crossed a lot earlier. But it's just the way that our generation had to just work. Literally is how the Lord leadeth. Trust me. You know what I mean? Whoever you bump into is like, yo, God, this has got to be it, because I would have to go into magazines like cross-reference magazines to try and find links, try and get access to festivals and different things like that. We were trying to think. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely trying to think. Amazing generation, man. So guys, listen, again, this is not only to rappers, this is to people who broke barriers in terms of sounds of R&B, in terms of reggae. We've spoke to Rico. I'm looking to speak to a number of other people in reggae. So listen, guys, shout me out. Anybody got any suggestions? Contact me. If I've offended you through these podcasts, I would say, let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If you feel like somebody's said anything you said in these conversations, because I'm not going to stop these conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the key things to remember, I think when you're watching these videos, is that these videos, like you said, they're not designed to cause offense. Everybody's got a story and everybody's going to tell the story from their point of view. The only way we're going to get the full and complete picture if everybody comes in and adds their bit to the story. Do you know what I'm saying? If you hear something that you think, you come and you say your bit, and it helps the whole puzzle picture to be built. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point staying on the outside being, come in, talk to us.
Talk to us.
And add your piece to the story, because at the end of the day, we want to create a legacy and a picture of that people can watch back at and say, this is how it was.
This is it. No, this is important. This is important, guys. I don't think and again, guys, I know the conversation has been, I don't want to give up my knowledge to who owns my information. And I think that's the biggest Achilles heels of the black community. Yeah, we are so I don't want to put it on Affinity Xtra. I want to put it on my own YouTube channel. Guys, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Do it. But we just want a conversation over here. You know what I'm saying? And I think the more we talk the story, listen, when I look at the Gospels, when I look at Max, I'm going to close off this, man. When I look at the Gospels, I look at Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. I look at Josephus outside. I look at all the different areas, different people that inputted in the time, people who signed off and put information there, and then you get a really beautiful picture of what happened. And there's a beautiful picture that happened, beautiful picture of what happened, but we're trying to create in the urban gospel scene before 2005, and we're here to create it, man. So listen, guys, nothing but love. Marx just had to pop out, but listen, this is Roger and Affinity Xtra Celebrated Gospel Music Encouraging. Really keep us up in prayers, and we're doing this thing, man. Bless you all.
Hey, this is your Bishop. This is your Bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website. And also check us out on Insta and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music, music with a message. So please, 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 please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.